Hello and welcome to AutoX and welcome to the much awaited first ride review of the Xpulse 210. If you're an ADV fan like I am, it's been a fun year, hasn't it? It started even before with the Royal Enfield Himalayan, then you had the KLX 230 and then you had the gem of a motorcycle which was the Adventure 390 KTM. And finally, then you have the Xpulse 210 come in. I am so excited to ride this one. Of course, there's a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss, so let's get started. So, you guys must have seen the Xpulse 210 multiple times. It has been showcased at multiple bike shows and you already know what it looks like, but here's my 2 cents. But in my opinion, it follows the overall silhouette of the older Xpulse 200, but they've tightened things up. It looks a lot more taut, it looks more compact, especially with the shorter fuel tank and with the shorter, stubbier rear end. It now has even more compact dirt bike look to it. If we start from the front, well, this is where you'll see the most familiarity with the older Xpulse. It still gets the circular Class D LED headlamps. Now you get a 25mm windshield, and this is something I really like. Now this is a handlebar which can not only be used to pull you out of tricky situations off-road, it is also meant to act like a protector for the headlight. Then you have a newly designed beak at the front. This also looks really nice. It makes the bike look chunkier. Then even the rear view mirrors have changed. They're large, they're chunky, and they have an angle to it. Now the older ones did feel a little flimsy, but only time will tell how these stand up. But until now they feel pretty sturdy. You have the plastic knuckle guards. I would have liked some metal reinforcements, and this is only available with the top end versions. You don't get them in the base. Then you have wide tank shrouds which houses the coolant reservoir on the right side and the radiator on the left. Finally, moving on, you have 21-inch spoke wheels up front. You get 100 section tires. Now one thing which has changed is the tire choice. Earlier you used to get Seat tires. Here now you get TVS Eurogrip. We'll talk about how they perform later on, but what I'd like to tell you is I didn't like how the Seat tires performed on the older Xpulse 200. Then finally coming to the back, you have 18-inch spoke wheels out back and you have a 120 section chunky tire here too. Moving up, you have this, the aforementioned compact fuel tank, but still it holds 13-liter capacity, and I think that's pretty decent. You have a pretty nice long flowing seat. Now again, there is a difference between the seat cushioning and the seat material which you get with the top end and the base variants. This of course I feel will be better for touring or for sportier riding, but the one you get in the base version is actually pretty cushiony, and that will definitely be better for everyday commuting. However, Hero also has a rally seat as an accessory available. Now, if you are an old Xpulse owner, one thing you didn't like was the side stand available. That was pretty flimsy. It used to be at an angle which was difficult to operate with off-road boots, and even the base was pretty slim and really flimsy, I'd say again. But this one has changed. You now get a thicker stand, it's more at an angle, and even the brace is broader in order to park the bike when you're in off-road conditions. Then you have these rally side panels and these rally style rear panels as well. One thing I would like to give applaud to the designers is these LED light. I didn't really like the look of the older Xpulse, at least from the rear end, but this I really like. It really has this modern dual sport look to it. Overall, I really liked the older Xpulse, but this, in my opinion, has made it even better. It looks more compact, it still looks pretty rugged, it has that go anywhere styling to it, and I am a fan. But now let's get to ergonomics, because I have a few points to discuss over there. So we meet again. Now as you can see, the bike is a little bit dirtier. That's because we've just hopped off the trails and we're finally continuing our PTC. Now, if we talk about ergonomics, the handlebar, of course, is wide, it's pretty low, it falls to my hand pretty easily. I have a seat height measuring 830 millimeters, and the old Xpulse that had a seat height of 825. Now, guys, I stand at 5'6", and as you guys can see, it is not too bad. Like, I can tiptoe pretty easily, and if I just put the stand up, as you guys can see, even with my toes just touching the ground, this bike is light, it's pretty easy to handle, and feels that way while riding too. Now, this is the perfect position for either city runs or the highway runs, but this is in its stock position, the handlebar. You do get handlebar risers which are available as accessory from Hero, and those bring up the height to about 15 millimeters. That will definitely help this bike out when talking about ergonomics while standing up going off-road. The old one, I had the same issue, handlebar fell to my hand pretty easily while riding sitting down, but when you go off-road and you start standing up, it felt a little too low in order to be comfortable. Over that, there were two minor issues which I did feel, but they can be resolved pretty easily. One was the fact that you have no grip pads on the tanks, so while riding, while trying to grip the tank off-road, you do felt yourself slipping back quite a bit, and that will definitely help out, not only conserving the paint of the motorcycle but also helping you grip as much as possible. Then if you talk about the foot pegs, I would have definitely liked the foot pegs to be a little larger and a little broader. I did face the problem again with the older Xpulse, and here too, as you guys can see, it's pretty good for normal city usage, but when you do go off-road, I did find myself slipping a little bit. So now we move on to features. I did talk about the Class D projector LED headlamps. Those are definitely, it'll really help out at night, because I did experience it and I love it. Next we have the dual channel ABS with 3 settings. However, the highlight definitely has to be the all digital TFT screen. It's crisp, the graphics are easy to read, it's easy to navigate through. You have mobile connectivity, we haven't connected it right now. And over that, the settings for the ABS can also be navigated through the menu. It's easy to reach. As you guys can see, you have road, you have trail, you have off-road. Now this manipulates how much the ABS interferes while riding. On road mode, you have the ABS turned on to full. When you talk about trail mode, it dulls it down a little bit, but when you do slip up, it will save you. Then we have off-road, where the intervention is negligible or nothing. It switches off the ABS at the front and at the back, and that was something I really wished for with the older Xpulse. Now I would like to point out over here is that the top end models get dual channel ABS, while the base variants of the Xpulse get a single channel ABS. Now that is the choice that you will have to make when you're looking at the Xpulse. And then some other bits and bobs. You have a pretty good switch gear, the quality is fantastic, it's tactile. Then you also have USB charging right over here, as you guys can see, and that is a pretty conveniently located USB charging point. So with that, I think it's time to move on to the ride and handling bit. We've looked at the motorcycle, you guys know what the features are, but I think you're dying to know how it performs. In terms of numbers, you get a 210cc 4-valve liquid-cooled engine tuned to produce 24.6 bhp at 9250 rpm and 20.7 Nm at 7250 rpm. Basically, about 30% more power and 20% more torque over the older model. Now, the question is, does the extra 10cc make a difference, and is it different to the Karizma? The answer to both is yes. Engine now feels extremely healthy in the mid-end, and also the ability to push harder towards the end of the rev range. That translates to an extremely tractable power band, one that excels where the older Xpulse fell off. This means be it urban commutes, highway runs or fast off-road trails, the Xpulse 210 doesn't leave you wanting. Over that, you have a 6-speed gearbox which seems to be well calibrated for varied usage. That is a big plus point. And in comparison to the Karizma, the power delivery feels a lot more ready, and instantaneous. Hero has updated the engine mapping and cam timing to achieve a revised final drive ratio, with the rear sprocket size going up from 42 teeth in the Karizma to 46 in the Xpulse 210. Thus, it feels gruntier and off-road ready. Where I do feel the old Xpulse 200 performed better to the new 210 is in the low-end rev range. However, this is an acceptable trade-off for the improvement in other areas. The only time this is an actual hindrance is if you try doing power slides, wheelies, or in slow-speed technical off-road sections and inclines. The biggest improvement over the outgoing Xpulse in terms of ride and handling is with its on-road behavior. It feels lighter, more nimble and stable because it gets a new semi-double cradle frame with higher torsional rigidity and a 35mm increase in wheelbase with better weight balance. However, what has also improved is its off-road ability, and I had so much fun that is where I chose to spend most of my time. You get 41mm front forks and a linked monoshock for added strength, comfort and durability. Now I can't comment about the last part yet, but the suspension performance of the new Xpulse 210 is so progressive, I feel it can take corners and trails in equal stride. It literally glides over bad roads, and if you happen to like jumps, you'll find yourself landing softer and more gentle than the previous model, and you'll keep doing it over and over again because it's just so much fun. Over that, with the ability to switch off front and rear ABS, the Xpulse was pretty much unstoppable in any terrain, except the one issue which seems to be carried over from the old Xpulse is the underperformance from the dual sport tires. Despite shifting from Seat to TVS Eurogrip, I always found myself wanting more traction on and off the road, especially on it. I'm so glad Hero has given it good braking power and a dual channel ABS with 3 ride modes for added safety. So ladies and gentlemen, that was our review of the new Xpulse 210. It is a great product in the ADV market, and it is a great upgrade to the older Xpulse, not only in terms of design and features but also in terms of performance. I know some of you were worried that it might just be a little too peaky in terms of its power delivery and not much changed in terms of its handling, but it is a package which is pre-tractable, it has grunt, it has a pretty linear power band, it does deliver the power when you need it, and in terms of handling, it's light, it's predictable, and especially the on-road performance is what's improved with this motorcycle. So ladies and gentlemen, what did you think about the Xpulse 210? Did you like it? Tell me in the comment section down below. My name is Karan Mathur. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this video, please do hit the like button, and if you like the videos we bring you, then please do subscribe as well. Thank you for watching again. I'll see you guys real soon.